sure that's no coincidence. But anyway, so in this next file, let's see, is this part where he says, this one is MK Ultra audio series Toronto mid 2007 entry 2, and I'm just going to skip to the part that's the easiest to hear of the about a paragraph's worth I was able to transcribe, where he says, these are business partners, Navy people. And I find that very interesting because the father of the serial rapist who was assigned to me and other scholars this network was targeting, he has been working on pulse signals buried with noise overtly through the United States Navy and more covertly through DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. And so then, ever since the assigned rape, I've been also targeted relentlessly with these neurologically disruptive sound frequencies. And then they get me shepherded to this apartment where they move in this, quote, audio engineering consultant. When he's not talking about planning to abduct me, he's talking about, these are business partners, Navy people and whatever, okay? So, but he did not know all that was going on because they keep things compartmentalized. So this was part of the reason we got some more information, though, because he was sometimes trying to figure out, why are you doing this? Who's doing this? What's going on really? Why did you, suddenly make me have to move here? This kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and they did talk about, but not in this file, but what let me know that they were there related to the non-consensual experimentation is that I had heard them talking about their concerns about that I'd gone to the Canadian consulate in Colorado, in Denver, Colorado, and they were also concerned about something to do with Senator Barbara Boxer. And I had no idea why, I had not made any contact with Senator Boxer or so.
Well, she also works with the administrative courts, which I've noticed they will use as a tactic to target and gang stalk as well. I wanted to share something with the audience really quickly,
okay, go ahead.
As well as yourself. And I don't know if you know about it, but Girl Next is a film that is made by Zeph Daniel and his wife. They're on the Human 2020 panel to end human trafficking, and Zeph has made cult classics like Society and The Bride of the Reanimator, and he's coming out with this film called Girl Next, and it's about these programs. These predatory programs, but it's also about targeting for the objective of human trafficking. And the film, it just looks phenomenal. It looks so good, and it's done under the genre of horror, but it's actually, I think it's about exposing some of these mind control programs, and and it is true. It's horrific. But it's about a young girl who who's well connected, and she goes to the right school, and she's involved in the right politics, and she's a classic blonde, blue-eyed American beauty, and unknown to her, she's been targeted for abduction, and she's been drugged and taken to a remote rundown ranch where an international band of traffickers not only deliver women for sex, but change them into obedient, beautiful, placid, sort of willing sex dolls, if you will. And they also kill those who resist this program. So it's going to be really good. It looks really good. There's a Facebook page, Girl Next. If you're tuning in, you can check it out. And I think there's a trailer for the film there. And I'll also share a trailer to the film to my wall. But, hopefully we can bring about more awareness of these this psychological warfare and programs that they are pretty much going mainstream with now, it seems like.
I think you're right. I think it seems really to have been exponentially growing, and or awareness of it, or maybe partly because the people being targeted by it are becoming more aware, and then they're finding, places where they can share their experiences more online, at least now too. And Zeph is a contact of mine also, and I know that he has a background. He's been targeted by these people. So I don't know how much they might have settled it down or not settled it down most currently, but I know that, when he was himself a teenager and so forth, he was being targeted by these people. So I'm sure that I think it's a smart way to, and he's a creative, talented person as well. So it's a smart way to, keep doing something that you want to be doing and to help raise awareness of this type of subject matter. Yeah, and you guys have
similar stories. I should try to make an introduction because he was also targeted and drugged in college. They tried to suicide him as well. So, maybe this 20 on 20, I can help establish a connection there.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I think so. As long as he's still, up to it, which it sounds like he is, that would definitely be great.
Yeah, especially with the film, the up-and-coming film, I'm sure he'd, you guys would have a lot to talk about.
Oh, thank you. I'll ask him something about it. Thank you so much. I definitely saw that he was working on that. I wasn't sure, what stage it is now. So from what you're saying, I think it sounds like you think they're going to release it fairly soon.
Yeah, check out the Facebook page, and I shared it to my wall as well. Girl
okay.
Next, the movie Girl Next. And,
okay.
I've also for some time been sharing about some of the tactics that they use to target and the mind control.
Yes, you do a very good job at that too.
Yeah, they operate within families as well, generations.
Oh yes, I really think this is why my great aunt, the only daughter of the doctor who was the Minister of Health and Housing for Guyana during arrangements for Jonestown, I believe that this is what they did to her to the death. Yes, absolutely. I'm very, very upset about it. I always have been. Yeah. Okay, so
you're very brave, and I hope by, talking about this more and getting it out there, we can expose some of these programs and hopefully end the generational targeting and toxic cycles.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. Yeah. Okay, I might save a couple of these files because I do see it's getting closer to 2 o'clock. I know we try to keep it within about an hour. We started about 1 in Eastern time. So maybe, depending what goes on, maybe we'll save the last half of this set for the next time or so. But let me first play this. Hopefully you can hear this part. It's because it's very much this part we already mentioned about that, where he says, these are business partners, Navy people. If I remember right, he put emphasis on Navy, because I put that in caps in the transcription. So let's see here. Right there. I'm sorry for all the background noise. He put that, these are business partners, Navy people. Let me try one more time. Back to there. Did you hear that?
Yeah, there's and there is a lot of money to be made, from targeted individuals, through these black ops programs as well as through the administrative courts.
I agree. Okay. I do see. Sometimes they're causing me to have to reload the thing, and then especially then I was going to put it off. But this one stayed in the right spot, so I think I'll try this too. He said, I'm going to ask the audience to forgive the language. In the transcription, I put expletive, but I'm not. I don't know my way around trying to do anything with the audio files, which maybe is just as well, because I realize they're like for evidence, so maybe it's just as well that I'm not an expert at being able to manipulate the audio files. So, but it says so it's not blocked. It's not edited out of the file. And what he really said was F-U-C-K, everybody. He said it a couple times in a row. And then he said, here you are an exec in Hong Kong. You people are shameful. And then he started banging something. It sounded like a metal weapon of some sort. So let's see here. Right there. I know it's a lot of other noise always with it, but right after he says F everybody, he said, you're an exec in Hong Kong, you people are shameful. Sure. And then he started banging some weapon. This one, actually, maybe it's good I end with this next one. Maybe make it through all the 4 parts after all, because the 4th part is the easiest to hear. He wasn't so agitated, for one thing. I think I could figure out who he was talking to, but I don't have any... there's no benefit to me or to anybody else as far as who's being targeted for me to say. And I think that was an innocent party that he was talking to, and that was not part of the network. And he was telling them. Let's see this part. That's the thing. Once the people begin to go online, they see things they don't want to see. And then in general, I'm effed about that. Yeah, I'm working on this SHIT like a mother effer. But he said it without editing. He used the bad words. Yeah. So it's here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Before that, he said, no, it's not in Colorado. It's not. What happened is in Englewood, Colorado, they make checks for, and I could not make it out when I did the transcription, but later hearing it more after, I think he said for defense. Yeah, they make checks for defense. And so that was interesting because remember, this was Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He's referring back to where they had just, caused me to feel like I better give up on living in the States for the time being from, which was in Colorado, where my medical clinic was in Englewood, Colorado. And they said they, quote, lost all my medical records. Mm-hmm. So anyway, then this is the part I first started to tell you, the part where he said, that's the thing. Once the people begin to go online, they see things they don't want to see. And then in general, I'm effed about that. So it let me know that, I'll take it off the speaker now. It let me know that there was at least somebody, and since then I learned that it's actually plural, somebodies that they get assigned to try to, sabotage my online publishing.
Yeah. And I'm familiar with that myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wow. It's been another amazing, enlightening podcast. Is there anything else that you want to add today?
No, I like I said, I was a little touch and go, depending on what kind of questions people might have asked when and what have you, if we could get through all 4 of those parts there, but, some highlights from all 4 of those parts of that set, but we did, so that's probably that's a good accomplishment for this installment. Does about the same time next week sound like a good time for going for part 3, starting
maybe we can promote like a Q&A and do like promotions several days before so that we can get more people in the chat room.
Okay, and then on both Amelia's end and on my end, we had probably what I call pseudo-technical difficulties because, when the organized predators, in some ways they had too much notice because, they got the most notice they've ever had, and every time they've done something to try to interfere with us. So I don't doubt, it seems very likely that they were causing technical issues on both your end and my end. It got us started half an hour later than we had published and we intended, so we're going to try for the original time for next week, I think, because that way, because it's a weekday, if somebody has their lunch break, they might at least be able to hear some. In Eastern time, that's like starting 12:30 Eastern.
Okay, yeah, and I'm used to it at this point. Like, it happens all the time on the show. All right, Sahar, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, and I'll look forward to having you back next week.
Okay, I think probably we should say the date. Let me do some quick math. 18 and 7, so the 25th, Friday, September 25th.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. All right,
Thank
everyone.
you. God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you. God bless everyone tuning into the show. Tune in for Human 2020 on the Zeph Report, coming up here really fast on the 19th and the 20th.